a nice shortened work week thanks to the Memorial Holiday 3-day weekend. With that, we welcome in Joe Convertino Jr. from CH Insurance for our Cup of Joe. How are you, Joe?
Hey, Gomez. Good morning. How was Memorial Day?
It was good. We did a little travel, went up to the Adirondacks for a day and got together with some friends. And actually, when we were up in the Adirondacks, we went up to Inlet up at Fourth Lake. Beautiful up there.
Beautiful.
And tons of people on their boats and the jet skis. And it's the time of the year that people start putting them in the water. And probably a good time to remind people that, does that all have to be insured, Joe?
Yes. I mean, as we were kind of chatting, a few weeks ago, summer's here. And as people start, to all our listeners, they start getting their summer toys out, the sailboats, the jet skis. A lot of people have a golf cart they own, the boat. Make sure, I would assume they're insured, but a lot of people, may not have certain coverage on it. The one thing that's missed, Gomez, is, the families have the boats insured, but make sure if you have an umbrella, it's scheduled under your umbrella policy. We see that's missed a lot out there. So, for example, Gomez, if you had a jet ski and you insured the jet ski and the agent didn't put the liability on your umbrella, you wouldn't get the umbrella coverage, God forbid something happened. So make sure it's all scheduled on all your policies.
Aha. That's an interesting tip.
Little tip there, and the classic cars are coming out of the storage, right?
That's true.
Classic cars that people may take comprehensive and collision off to save money. The liability's on, but they're looking to save some bucks. Don't forget to turn on the comp and collision with your agent, because that's, God forbid something happened to the car, vandalism, or, someone got in an accident. So, some little tips to help our listeners with the summer activities.
No, good advice, no doubt, especially as you mentioned with everything starting to come out here and the boats and the motorcycles and everything like that.
All that.
Joe, I wanted to ask you, too, because I know you're a big sports fan and you've been watching Major League Baseball and some NBA now that we're into the playoffs. And fan behavior, obviously a big issue here in the last couple of weeks as fans have been now thrown out of arenas for throwing water bottles at players, popcorn spitting, just ridiculous behavior on the part of fans. Just from a liability standpoint, do the arenas where these teams play have any obligation, or are they, under the gun for any of this stuff?
Well, I think each arena has to create a safe environment, okay? Which, yeah, I mean, you take that water bottle incident at, I think it was Kyrie Irving. If that hit him, it had a half a water in there. It's gonna knock him out. But I'm sure the NBA teams have the coverage, but the liability could fall back to the security and as these players get exit out of the building. But the popcorn incident, that was probably nothing. But the fans, I mean, it's an interesting subject. I mean, that one with Kyrie, I mean, I think they create some controversy with some of their actions. Like he went on the floor and, stamped on the Celtics logo and then walked out. So, I mean, they're driving some of this stuff. But, look, I believe it's a two-way street. And, both parties got to, be responsible. But it's an interesting thing that's going on out there, and I think we're going to see more of it with what we're reading and hearing through all the media of this type of behavior. What are your thoughts on it?
Well, it's ridiculous. I'm glad they're getting thrown out. I mean, it's the one you mentioned with regard to Kyrie Irving. That's assault. If you're going to throw something at somebody's head and it hits them, that's beyond bad fan behavior. That's illegal.
No, I agree.
That's something they should be prosecuting.
I agree, and they're fining them and taking them out and suspended for the year, which is probably a good thing. But it just seems like it's getting worse than better.
One final one here, Joe. It's just kind of those odd ones. Yeah. I was running by and see if it was. It's like was it covered? I guess we could call it. But
okay, was it covered
in Northern Ireland? It's a woman who was putting what she thought was like, those gas treatments in your gas tank. Turns out it was her body wash. It had a similar looking, container that the whatever treatment was. So it damaged the engine. She presented that to her car insurance company. Was it covered?
Gomez, I would say yes, it was covered because it was accidental. If she thought, that was definitely stuff to help the engine, and then that went in there and the car didn't start, that would probably fall under her comprehensive deductible. She would pay a deductible, Gomez. So, it would be something that would be covered with most carriers for your auto insurance.
You are correct, my friend. Covered.
Hey.
It was.
Good. That's awesome.
Hey, Joe, listen, thanks. Always great to get caught up with our Cup of Joe from CH Insurance, and we'll talk to you coming up here in a couple weeks.
You got it, Gomez. Have a great week.
All right, you too, Joe. Thanks.